The stranger on the bus. The bus ride was supposed to be ordinary. Rain tapped against the windows, the city fading into blur. I was just another passenger, until I saw him. He sat alone in the back, dark coat, head pulled low, eyes fixed on me. At first, I thought it was nothing, just coincidence. But when the bus made its final stop, and I stepped out, he followed. And that's when my story changed forever. His footsteps echoed behind me through the empty street. I walked faster. So, did he? Finally, I spun around. Why are you following me? I demanded. He stopped under the streetlight. His voice was calm. They're coming for you. And if you go home tonight, you won't survive. Before I could ask who he meant, headlights blazed. A black van screeched to a halt. Doors flew open. Men in masks rushed toward me. And the stranger whispered, "Run." My legs moved before my mind did. I sprinted into the alley, the stranger right behind me. Shouts echoed. Boots thundered closer. "Left," he barked. I turned sharply, nearly colliding with trash bins. A bullet sparked off the wall beside me. We dove into a side door, slamming it shut. Darkness swallowed us. My chest heaved. Who are they? What do they want? The stranger's eyes gleamed in the dark. They want you. I pressed my back against the wall. Trembling, "You're insane," I spat. "I don't even know you." The stranger's voice stayed steady. "You don't have to, but if you want to live, you'll trust me." A heavy crash shook the door. The masked men were breaking through. The stranger grabbed my hand. "Your father hid something. They think you have it." "My father's dead," I whispered. The stranger's grip tightened. "Exactly." The door burst open. We bolted to a fire escape, racing down rusted stairs. Gunshots cracked behind us. Sparks flew. At the bottom, the stranger shoved me into the shadows of an abandoned subway tunnel. "They won't stop," he warned. "Not until they have you or what you're carrying." "I'm not carrying anything." I snapped. His gaze dropped to the chain around my neck. The small pendant my father gave me years ago. "That," he whispered, eyes dark. "That's what they want." I clutched the pendant, suddenly ice cold. It's just a necklace." The stranger shook his head. "Not a necklace, a key. And if they get it, everything ends." Before I could speak, shadows stretched across the tunnel. More masked men pouring in. The stranger raised his weapon. "Stay behind me." Gunfire erupted. Sparks lit the darkness. And for the first time, I realized whoever my father really was, he left me in the middle of a war. We fled deeper into the tunnels, chased by gunfire. My lungs burned, but the stranger never slowed. Finally, he shoved me through a broken door into an underground chamber. Inside, maps, old tech, weapons. It looked like a hidden base. I stared at him. "What is this place?" His voice dropped low. "Your father built it. He called it Echo." The name rang in my ears, strange and heavy. And on the wall, carved into stone, was a single message: "Protect the key." The stranger searched the room quickly, gathering supplies. "We can't stay. They'll track us here." I touched the carved words on the wall. My father's handwriting. Why didn't he tell me? I whispered. The stranger glanced at me, eyes sharp. "Because if you knew, they'd already have you." Before I could reply, a cold voice echoed through the chamber. "You should have listened to him." We spun around. From the shadows stepped a woman, her gun aimed at my chest. The woman's smile was razor sharp. "Give me the pendant, and maybe I'll let you live." The stranger raised his weapon. "Don't trust her." She tilted her head, unfazed. "Oh, but he hasn't told you the truth, has he?" Her eyes locked on mine. "Your father didn't die in an accident. He was killed for what's around your neck." My heart dropped. "Lies!" the stranger growled. The woman smirked. "Then ask him why he never told you." The air crackled with tension. I looked between them, my voice shaking. "Is it true? Did my father die because of this?" The stranger's jaw tightened. Now silent, the woman's eyes gleamed. "Thought so." Before I could react, an explosion ripped through the chamber wall. Smoke, debris. Shouts. More masked men stormed in. The woman blew me a kiss before vanishing into the chaos. The stranger grabbed my arm. No time. Run. The ground shook as we sprinted through collapsing corridors. Flames licked the walls. The pennant burned against my chest. Suddenly, soldiers dropped from the ceiling above. Different uniforms, heavier weapons. Not the masked men. Someone else. The stranger cursed. They found us too. Bullets tore through the air. We dove behind cover. I screamed, "Who are they?" The stranger's face was grim. A worse enemy than the first. And every one of them was after me. We fought our way up a stairwell, gunfire exploding all around. The stranger dragged me to the rooftop. Night wind hit my face. A helicopter hovered above. Ropes dropping, soldiers rappelling down. The stranger's voice was raw. "Don't let them take you alive." We ran for the edge of the building. Only one way out, across to the next rooftop. "Jump," he shouted. I leapt, but halfway across, a hand yanked me back. I turned. It was the woman. Her grip was steel, her eyes cold. "You were never supposed to leave," she hissed. The stranger landed on the opposite roof, spinning in horror. "Let her go." Soldiers swarmed behind the woman, weapons raised. She leaned close, her whisper sharp. "Your father trusted the wrong people. Don't make the same mistake." I fought to break free, screaming. The helicopter's spotlight pinned me in its glare, and in that instant I realized this wasn't capture. This was betrayal. The soldiers dragged me down into the compound below. The stranger's shouts faded behind me. Cold corridors. Steel walls. The woman's hand never left my arm. "You'll understand soon," she said softly. Echo was never yours to keep. Alarms blared suddenly. Explosions shook the compound. The stranger's voice echoed from somewhere inside, and with it, chaos. I ran as the walls began to collapse. But the woman's voice chased me in the dark. "You can't run from blood. It's in you." The compound was falling apart. Explosions tore through halls, steel groaning overhead. I stumbled, choking on smoke. The stranger appeared through the fire, bloodied but alive. He grabbed my hand. "Come on, this place is finished." We sprinted together. But as we neared the exit, masked intruders poured in, not soldiers, not the woman. A new enemy. Their leader's distorted voice echoed. "Extraction complete. Take her." Hands seized me. The stranger roared, and everything went black. I woke only in flashes, dragged through smoke. Shadows above me. The stranger's voice somewhere far away, shouting my name. And then, the intruder's stronghold. Dark steel walls. Symbols glowing faintly across the floor. Their leader stepped forward. A tall figure in a smooth black mask. "You are awake," the voice echoed. "We have waited a long time for you." My blood ran cold. I wasn't their prisoner. I was their prize. The chamber shook with alarms. Explosions thundered overhead. The masked figure tilted his head. Impossible. No one breaches our gates. But someone had. Gunfire tore through the compound. Walls cracked. Smoke poured in. I ran. Corridors collapsed behind me. Intruders clashed with invaders in chaos. The stranger's voice cut through the noise. "Keep moving." We fought toward the surface as the stronghold crumbled. Every step closer to freedom, or the grave. When I woke again, I was strapped to a chair. Dim light, black steel walls humming around me. Rows of tall pods lined the chamber. Shadows of bodies suspended inside. The masked figure stood before me. Project Echo was never theirs. It was ours, and you are the key to taking it back. The pendant glowed faintly against my chest. "You don't understand." I gasped. "Why me?" The figure leaned close, voice echoing inside my skull. "Your father didn't just build Echo. He built you." And then, the doors slammed open. The stranger was dragged in, bloodied, half-conscious. "You will choose," the figure said coldly. "Them or us." The chamber shook again, but this time from outside. Explosions ripped the blast doors apart. Armed fighters stormed in, cutting down intruders with precision fire. One rushed to me, tearing my restraints open. On your feet. Now. I stumble free, eyes darting to the stranger, still chained. We can't leave him. I cried. They hesitated, then freed him too. As we ran, the masked figure's voice followed. Run while you can. The truth always finds you. We fought through endless corridors, alarms blaring. The rescuers shouted into comms. Get the package out. My blood went cold. The package. Not me. The package. The extraction craft tore through the night sky. Inside, red lights glowed dimly. I sat strapped in, clutching the pendant. Across from me, the stranger bled silently, eyes never leaving our rescuers. Who are you? I asked. The leader's voice was flat. The ones keeping you alive. The stranger rasped. That's not an answer. You didn't risk this just to save her. What's your game? No reply. Then alarms. Drones in pursuit. Plasma fire rocked the ship. We nearly fell from the sky, but the pilot dove hard, sending the drones crashing into a mountain ridge. Silence returned. I thought, for one fragile moment, that we were safe. But the pendant began to glow, pulsing with the ship's engines. The stranger's eyes widened. Hide it. Now. Too late. The leader pulled off their helmet. Scarred face lit by red light. That pendant, they said coldly, it belongs to us. The stranger's voice was grim. I told you we can't trust them. And the ship flew on into the night. The ship roared through the night, engines howling. The stranger's glare never left the rescuers. But my chest tightened as the leader's words sank in. The pendant belongs to us. I clutched it tighter, heat pulsing against my skin. What are you going to do with it? I asked. The leader's scarred face stayed unreadable. Unlock what your father tried to bury. The stranger growled. You'll kill her before you ever get close. The leader ignored him, turning back toward the cockpit, set course for the Citadel. The word sent a chill through me. Citadel. It sounded less like a sanctuary and more like a prison. The stranger leaned closer, his whisper sharp in my ear. When we land, you run. Don't look back. I wanted to believe him. But the pendant burned brighter, almost alive. And deep inside, a part of me already knew there would be no running from what was coming. Hours bled into silence as the ship cut through the clouds. When the engines finally dimmed, I looked out the narrow window, and my breath caught. The Citadel rose from the earth like a scar, a fortress of black steel and jagged towers, glowing faintly with the same symbols I'd seen in the intruder's stronghold. It wasn't a sanctuary. It was something older, something waiting. The stranger muttered under his breath. Hell on earth. The ship descended onto a landing bay. Armed guards in the same dark gear surrounded us instantly. The leader stood, motioning to me. Bring the package. My chest tightened. Not a person, not a name, just the package. The stranger shoved himself to his feet, bloody but defiant. You'll have to drag her. Weapons clicked. The air stilled. And in that moment, the pendant around my neck flared with light. The guards froze, whispering in fear. Even the leader's eyes widened. The pendant's glow dimmed again, leaving silence behind. The leader's voice cut through the stillness, low and sharp. Take them both inside. The overseer will decide. Hands seized my arms. Steel doors yawned open ahead, and as I was dragged into the Citadel's depths, one truth sank like a stone in my gut. Whatever waited inside, it already knew me. The Citadel swallowed me whole. Corridors of endless black stretched in every direction, humming with an energy I couldn't name. The walls seemed to breathe, alive with faint pulses of light. Every step echoed like a warning. The guards marched us deeper, rifles ready. The stranger limped beside me, his voice low. This place isn't new, he whispered. It's older than your father, older than all of us. I swallowed hard. How do you know? His eyes flicked to the walls. Because I've been here before. We turned a corner, and I froze. Rows of towering glass chambers lined the hall, each holding a figure suspended in liquid. Men, women, Children, silent, unmoving. I pressed closer to the stranger. Are they alive? His jaw tightened. Not alive. Not dead. Just waiting. The guard shoved us forward until the hall opened into a vast chamber. A single throne of black stone rose at its center, carved with symbols that matched my pendant. It was empty, but the moment I looked at it, the pendant on my chest flared, and a voice filled the chamber. You've come home. The chamber vibrated with that voice. It didn't come from speakers. It came from the walls, themselves, from the air, from inside my skull. You've come home. The guards dropped to one knee. Even the scarred leader bowed his head. Only the stranger stayed standing, his fists clenched. From the shadows behind the throne, a figure emerged, tall, cloaked. A mask of pale metal covered their face, smooth and flawless, except for the single black line running down its center. The overseer. Every step they took made the air grow colder. When they spoke again, the words slid like ice into my bones. The key has returned at last. My chest tightened. I'm not your key. I'm not your anything. The overseer tilted their head. Studying me, the pendant glowed against my chest as though answering their gaze. You don't understand, they said softly. You were never meant to choose. You were meant to unlock. Behind me, the stranger snarled. Over my dead body. The overseer's masked face turned toward him. That could be arranged. Do you want Part 25 to escalate into a direct confrontation with the overseer right now? Or stretch the suspense with the overseer testing the protagonist in a disturbing way before any fight begins? The overseer lifted one pale hand. The guards froze instantly, weapons still raised but motionless. The masked face tilted toward me. Show me. The pendant tore itself free from my neck. Yanked forward by invisible force, it floated between us, pulsing like a living heart. Every beat echoed inside my chest until I thought my ribs would shatter. My knees buckled. I gasped, clutching at nothing. Images flickered through my mind. My father hunched over blueprints. The same black walls of the citadel rising from the earth, and his voice broken, whispering. Forgive me. The overseer's tone sharpened. Yes, the lock remembers its maker. The stranger lunged forward. Stop this. In an instant, the guard sprang to life, forcing him down, rifles to his skull. I screamed, let him go. The overseer ignored me, their masked face inches from mine now. You think you carry a choice, child? No, you are the doorway, and the door must open. The pendant's glow turned blinding, heat searing my skin. I cried out, and somewhere deep inside the citadel, something vast and ancient stirred awake. The chamber split with thunder. The floor trembled, cracks racing outward from the throne. Symbols carved into the stone blazed alive, filling the air with searing white glow. The overseer raised their arms as if in triumph. It stirs. From deep below, a sound answered, not mechanical, not human, a roar older than language itself. I clutched my head, screams trapped in my throat. The pendant burned against my skin, alive, pulling me toward the throne. I stumbled forward, powerless. No, the stranger roared, with a burst of strength. He broke free from the guards, seizing one of their rifles. Gunfire shattered the chamber, sparks flying. The overseer didn't flinch. You cannot stop what had begun, their voice echoed. She opens away. The stranger grabbed me, pulling me back. Fight it, he shouted. Don't let it take you. But the ground split open beneath the throne. A blinding column of light erupted upward, carrying with its shape something vast, something with too many eyes, too many voices, and all of them were calling my name. The column of light seared the chamber, and from it, the shape unfolded. It had no body, only shifting fragments of flesh and metal, 1,000 eyes blinking open and shut, mouths whispering in languages I shouldn't have understood, but somehow did. It was calling me, pulling me. The overseer's voice rang through the chaos. She is the vessel. Bind her to the source. Invisible force slammed into me, dragging me toward the light. My heels scraped stone, my throat raw with screams. The pendant pulsed wildly, brighter and brighter, until I thought it would tear straight through my chest. The stranger fought like a man possessed, dropping guards one by one, tearing through the smoke and sparks. But every time he reached for me, the force yanked me closer to the throne. The overseer stepped into the glow, their mask gleaming. "Do not fight it," they whispered, their voice cutting through the storm. "This is what you were born for, to become the key, to become the door." The light swallowed my vision, heat seared my veins, and in that terrible brightness, the entity's countless eyes locked onto mine, and one voice rose above the rest. A voice I knew, a voice I loved. "Child, it's me." The world went white, and through it, the voice came again. Gentle, familiar. "It's me, your father." I froze. Every scream trapped my throat. The storm of eyes and mouths seemed to fade, all focusing into that single sound. The sound of home. My hand shook. "Dad." The overseer's masked head tilted back, arms raised. Yes, at last she hears him. The stranger lunged through the chaos, grabbing my arm. "Don't listen. It's not him." But the voice wrapped around me, warm and pleading. "I'm here, child. I've been here all along, trapped in what I built. Only you can free me." Tears blurred my vision. My chest ached so badly I thought I'd split in two. I wanted to believe. I needed to believe. The stranger's grip tightened, his eyes wild. "It's lying to you. That thing isn't your father. It's what killed him." The overseer's voice thundered over his. "She is the vessel. She carries his blood. She will set him free." The light dragged harder, ripping me from the stranger's grip. I screamed his name as my body was pulled into the glow, and for the first time, I felt something inside me answer back. Not just the pendant, not just the voice, but a power rising, hungry to be unleashed. The light tore through me. I tried to resist, tried to scream, but the sound never made it past my lips. The pendant dissolved into my skin, and then I was no longer just me. The chamber exploded in brilliance. Symbols carved into the walls flared, burning hotter than fire. The guards dropped their weapons, shielding their faces. The overseer fell to their knees in reverence, and I hovered above the ground, my body trembling with something vast and merciless. 1,000 voices surged through my head, each one begging, each one commanding, each one mine. The stranger staggered back, eyes wide. "God help us, she's awake." My vision split into layers. I saw the citadel as it was, as it had been, and as it could be. Every door, every wall, every secret, all waiting for me to open. I clenched my fists, desperate to stop it, desperate to remain myself. But the entity's voice thundered through me. "Do not resist. Become." A shockwave blasted outward, hurling guards into the stone. The throne cracked. The chamber ceiling splintered, and still the power grew. I felt it boiling in my veins, tearing at my humanity, and in the brief flicker of my own voice that remained, I whispered, "I can't stop it." The chamber could not hold me anymore. Cracks spidered across the walls, stone shrieking as it split apart. The roar of collapsing metal drowned out the guard screams. I felt the force surging out of me, an ocean of light, flooding every corner of the citadel. Doors burst open down endless halls. Glass chambers shattered, their silent prisoners spilling into the chaos. The fortress itself trembled like a living thing in agony. The overseer staggered toward me, cloak whipping in the gale, their masked face tilted back, voice booming over the storm. "Submit to me. You are the key. I'm the hand that turns it." Their arms lifted, and for a heartbeat, the torrent inside me wavered. I felt a pull, cold and commanding, dragging my power toward their grasp. My chest burned as if my very soul were being stolen. "No!" the stranger roared. He leapt through the chaos, firing round after round at the overseer. Bullets sparked against the mask, useless. The overseer didn't even flinch. All their focus was on me, and in that moment of blinding fury, the energy erupted from my core. A final shockwave tearing through the chamber, Like a hurricane of fire and light, the citadel split open. Towers crumbled. The ground gave way. And then, darkness swallowed everything. I woke to silence. No crumbling towers. No screams. No blinding light. Just a silence. The ground beneath me wasn't stone. It was soft, damp earth. I forced my eyes open. Above me stretched a canopy of trees, black against a bleeding red sky. The air smelled of ash and rain. My chest throbbed, every heartbeat echoing with the ghost of that impossible power. The pendant was gone, or maybe it wasn't. I couldn't tell. I tried to sit up, but a sharp pain lanced through my side. That's when I saw the bandages. Fresh, clean. Someone had tended to me. But who? A shadow shifted at the edge of the clearing. My breath caught. The stranger? The overseer? Someone new? The figure stepped forward slowly, their face hidden beneath a hood. They crouched beside me, voice low and rough. You shouldn't be alive. I swallowed hard, my throat dry. Then why am I? The hooded figure tilted their head, just enough of the fading light to catch a glimpse of a scar jaw. Their smile was sharp. Because we still need you. The hooded figure's hand tightened on my shoulder, not gentle, claiming, you survived the citadel, they said, almost in awe. Then you're exactly what Echo has been waiting for. The words sliced through me. Echo, the same word the stranger had whispered in fear. The same word my father had hidden in his blueprints. I tried to pull away, but my body was still too weak. What do you want from me? I rasped. The figure's smile widened, sharp as broken glass. Not me, us. From the treeline, more shapes emerged. Dozens of them, cloaked and masked, their movements silent and precise. They formed a circle around the clearing, their eyes glowing faintly in the red dusk. My chest tightened. This wasn't rescue. This was capture. The hooded figure leaned closer, their whisper cutting into my ear. You opened the door. Now you'll finish what he started. Before I could ask who, they pressed a needle into my neck. Cold fire rushed through my veins. My vision blurred, the world tilting sideways. The last thing I saw before darkness claimed me was their smile, and the sigil of Echo burning across their hand. The first thing I felt was a cold, stone beneath me, chains biting into my wrists. When I opened my eyes, I was no longer in the forest. The hooded figure's promise, we still need you, echoed in my skull. Now I understood. I was in their stronghold. The walls were carved from black stone, the same symbols etched deep into their surface. They pulsed faintly, alive, as though watching me. A single light flickered overhead, leaving shadows crawling across the cell. Outside the bars, voices murmured. I couldn't see faces, only the glint of masks. But I heard one word again and again, whisper like a prayer. Echo. My body ached, still weak from what happened in the citadel, but something deeper gnawed at me. The pendant was gone, yet the power remained. It shifted in my chest like a caged animal, hungry. The door creaked open. Two cloaked figures stepped inside. One carried a tray of water and bread. The other carried chains heavier than the ones already binding me. The second figure leaned close, their voice low, venomous. You belong to us now. The overseer wanted to use you. Their smile gleamed in the shadows. But we'll break you first. They dragged me from the cell, chains scraping against the floor. The air grew colder the deeper we went, each step echoing like a drumbeat of doom. At last, they shoved me into a cavernous chamber. The walls shimmered with the same glowing sigils, twisting and shifting as though alive. At the center stood a massive stone platform, stained, scarred, waiting. The hooded figure from the forest stepped forward, lowering their hood at last, to be continued.